Welcome back to the Arena of Motorsport for more extreme festival action now and celebrating Women's Month this weekend. Looking forward to seeing all of the action on track now, coming out of a very competitive category. And Car Care Clinic saw a lady take a victory at the last round. So we're looking forward to 111 Sports and Saloons as they make their way out onto the circuit. But first and foremost, let's make sure we get all the cars that are supposed to be there all ready to go. At the front end, as I mentioned, Kaylin Miller is definitely a big threat now after taking that victory. And let's see whether or not Lucas Besaidnout, maybe Votarus with a bit of a recovery off the Red Star Raceway. And he's on pole. Let's have a look and see if he can keep it there in race number 1. A quick highlight here of what happened in race number 1. Heading down towards turn 1, Votar got the drop. See being followed through there by Kevin Miller. And then in the mid-pack, Kaylin Miller didn't quite get the start she wanted. And she went side by side with Andre Diedrichs in the Mini Cooper S. Big pack of cars headed down towards turn number 2, and it was Philip Eminis who hung on for second place ahead of Miller and Archie. The Besaidnout coming through there in the Pretoria Noord car, and Troy Murray just behind, going side by side with the race 1 winner, from the previous round at Red Star Raceway. Didn't take long before the Pretoria Noord Toyota hit the front, and of course that is a Lexus under the right foot of Besaidnout. Further back, great driving coming out of Mark Gregory as he took the lead of Class E. It looks like we see a couple of changes in some of these categories as well, with Labochki ahead of Marius Lotz. Problems for Van der Vijver early on as well as he spun out on the first lap right in front of the doctor's car. Van der Vijver got back on track though and had to come right from the back of the field. So it was all about the front end. Archie just running off ever so slightly, opening up the door. Kaylin Miller said, "Thank you very much, I'll take that one," and headed into turn 2, up into third place and looking for a podium. Big battles right through the pack as well as Archie got back on track and got chasing down on Miller. It was Class B that headed into turn 2 with the lead being held by the Car Care Clinic Ballard this time of Louis Scholz. Problems for Diedrichs on the sideline. He would have to unfortunately pull out of the race and didn't make it back in time to get into the hunt at the front end of his category. The front end of Class A though was all about this man, and Lucas Besaidnout doing a great job looking for his first victory of the season, coming down towards turn 8. He's putting the pressure on to some of the guys in Class E. It was Mark Gregory who would be taking the victory there. He just gave a little bit of room there and allowed the Lexus to squeeze through. Gregory knew he's got the Class E honours sorted out and went to the line side by side with the winner of Class A as they crossed the line. Not too far back though, you could see Votarus and Kaylin Miller hunting down that Lexus. So that was Class A coming across the line. Class B eventually going to Louis Scholz. Class X coming through there with Ryan Quanshire taking the victory there. But there's confirmation of those results from race number 1. Lucas Besaidnout taking the win ahead of Votarus. Class B to Scholz and Swiggers. It was Vevey ahead of Van Eck, Gregory and Quanshire for C, D, E and X. Lucas Besaidnout with his first victory. Let's see how happy he is.
No, it's about time. I had a lot of bad luck this year. Eventually the car got right, so yeah, I think I had a good race.
Let's get those fuels in the cars now for race number 2. Rob Portman's going to join me for commentary for race number 2 now. Expecting big battles in these categories, and there's a lot of hot action at the front end. Class A with over 10 competitors in it, and Ryan Quanshire in the mix there. Eminis didn't have quite the start he wanted. Let's see if he goes a bit better. We're on board here with Sean Kraus, a man who's welcomed return along with his brother Wayne into Class A and looking for a chance now to spoil the day there for race 1 winner, Pretoria Noord's Lucas Besaidnout.
Yeah, and he's dropped down a couple of grid spots there because he broke out with the lap time, so he's got a lot of work to do to fight to the front end of that field. This is leaving the door open for the drivers at the front now. Votarus and Kaylin Miller runs a little bit wide there, but able to bring it all back as 27 cars filtering through turn number 2.
JP Nokia and then for Autobot car looking for a chance now. Remember, he also pilots a big V8, and this time he's in the Polo. Marius Lotz, as they come through there on the inside. Loki Vevey in the big Golf 2. And just ahead, Mark Gregory. Now, Lotz has got to catch Gregory. It's not going to be an easy thing to do as they head up onto that back straightaway for the first time. Archie looking for a way through on Eminis and also fending off the attack just behind there, as you can see coming through from Wayne Kraus. Ryan Quanshire side by side with Besaidnout through turn 4, Volkswagen corner, and a much better outing this time out though for the extra shoes car there. And watch out as we see Adrian Dalton making his way through for Class X honours.
Race 1 winner in Class A, Besaidnout. He's not making the progress that he would have hoped in the early stages here. So that dicing there with Quanshire, but he's not making any inroads to the top 3. They are pulling away. Look at Votarus and Kaylin Miller. They're extending that lead over Philip Eminis, Leonard Archer, and Wayne Kraus coming through the field there as well. Besaidnout, oh, one of the cars getting all kinds of sideways. Oh, that's a little old school on the inside block pass move there.
Yeah, unfortunately the Porsche they're getting caught out. Philip Meyer coming together there, and a big block pass coming from JP Nokia as they went down into turn 8. Kaylin Miller though, slowly but surely closing in on the back end of Votarus. Eminis all on his own in third place. 4, 5 and 6 starting to fight it out, and then you've got that Class X battle just behind that with Quanshire leading just a little ahead of Adrian Dalton, and Gerard Potgieter not too far off the back end of that either.
Yeah, Louis Stoltz still at the front end of Class B, and just behind him is Wayne Lobotsky. This is the battle up front. Oh, looks like there's a change-up. Kaylin Miller looks like she's made the move ahead of Vota Roos, so that's a big change-up at the front end of this field. Roos is going to try and fight back, going to the top of the hill. As we go on board here with Eminus, we're going to get a prime shot of that. No, looks like Vota Roos just tucks in behind Kaylin Miller, and it's going to be an almighty battle all the way to the line, but the Kia is now out front.
Yeah, that Kia is very quick, and power to weight ratio on that machine is definitely going to help out, because there's a tiny lady behind the wheel of that car, and she's already taken a victory, so she knows she can run at the front and take on everybody else in this category. So Vota's going to have his hands full. Coming down onto the braking markers now, he closes in on the Kia. Big move here from Archie as he comes up on the back end of Eminus as well. So the Hyundai is slowly but surely looking to get past on that BMW.
Not too far behind them is Class B. Overall leader there is Louis Stoltz. Got Andre Diedrichs in the Mini, just separating the second place man there, Valdo Swiggers in Class B. So that's a good little battle that's going to go down there. It does look like Diedrichs was going to make the move on the inside. There's some squealing tyres and smoke puffing all around the Zwartkops Raceway.
Yeah, afraid having a little bit of a manoeuvre there, as we saw Van der Pfeiffer starting to make his way through into the mid-pack of the Class E and D battle further back in this pack. And good to see that they're not holding anything back there. Mark Kingsmill comes through, and it looks like he might have a small issue on that Golf 1. He is losing a little bit of power. Have a listen to this as he comes down under braking. Yeah, definitely issues there. You can hear no gears probably on Kingsmill's car as Freight has got through. So has Van der Pfeiffer in the Subaru. But as they come down that back straightaway now, two Golf 1s side by side, late braking required and diving through. Great bit of maneuvering there from the 415. And Gerard Potgieter now moves up into third place in Class X.
That Class B battle is really starting to heat up now. There we go. You can see right on his tail now there. Valdo Swiggers is right on the back end of Louis Stoltz. So a big battle going on for Class B now. And it does look like Swiggers has got the extra little bit of pace. Stoltz making that car ever so wide to try and close the gaps.
Kaylin Miller hangs on for A's ahead of Roos and Eminus as they come down into turn 1. Compendium Insurance corner. Hard braking required for turn 2 as Archie's got some big pressure coming from Wayne Krause in the Ancro Building Project Polo. It's going to be very tight between the two of them, but Archie just hangs on to that inside line, maintains 4th place. Nice 5-way battle here. Any mistakes from any of these drivers could be costly at this point, and just behind them you can see race 1 winner Lucas Besaidenote has now caught onto the back.
On board with Philip Eminus, holding down that 3rd place for now, but Leonard Archer and Wayne Krause not too far behind. So just like you said, Greg, any mistake coming out of them could cost them oh so dearly. Besaidenote not too far behind there either. They're starting to make inroads, but it's a little bit too late now for the race 1 winner, as Kaylin Miller looks like she's going to hold on to this, but she's still got a little bit to do. She's going to hold off the hard-charging Vota, the 3-wheeled hard-charging Vota Roos.
Getting that thing onto 3 wheels shows just how hard he's having to push to stay there with the Kia, but Kaylin Miller hanging on for now. Can she keep it all together for a couple of more meters? Down onto the braking markers. Archie closing on Eminus. Eminus closing on Roos. It's very tight between the 4 of them now. A lot closer than what it has been all race long. Kevin Miller hasn't had it quite go his way. He's now fighting there with the extra shoes Golf of Adrian Dalton. And Dalton, a little bit of petrol spillage and probably overfilled that car a little bit as he turns in there. You can see it coming out of the petrol cap. Then you got Loki Favey fighting hard there with Almira Vanek in the Eagle 1 Polo.
Now coming across the line, they tick off another lap. We're in the final stages of this race now and heading into turn 2. You can see there Dalton still second in Class X, coming under pressure there from Philip Meyer and Andre Diedrichs in Class A there. So good drive from the Class X driver, but it is final stages time and going very defensive there into turn 4. But around the outside guys, car number 23, that's Philip Meyer trying to make the move in the Porsche.
Now the Porsche has already been off at one stage, so doesn't want to do it again. Oh, speaking of off, that's a big one. Gerard Potgieter getting it all out of shape. Looks like he might have dropped some oil down there. Hopefully no one else is going to get caught up in it. Van der Pfeiffer in the all-wheel drive doesn't have to worry about that too much, but here they come on into Volkswagen corner. This is Favey trying to close down, and you can see a little bit of a fight on here still to the line. Valdo Swiggers has had a big issue. Oh, looks like he might have run out of brakes at the top end of the hill there. Into AMG and Mercedes-Benz corner. Valdo Swiggers has gone into the kitty litter. That's going to see him drop through. Oh, and there's Freyd getting out of shape. There's definitely some oil down at turn 3, and I think it might be Potgieter's car that caused all that issue. Problems for Troy Barrett. He's pulled onto the sideline, so I don't think it's a problem that he's had, but red flag has been called, and that means we're going to go 1 race lap back because we've completed enough. And gives Kaylin Miller the win ahead of Vota Roos. Louis Stoltz takes Class B honours ahead of Robotsky. Class C goes to Favey. Class D to Vanek. Mark Gregory takes the Class E's, and Quanchai yet again in the Trans-Africa Racing car taking Class X. There was a big moment at turn 5 for Valdo Swiggers. Let's find out what went wrong.
Well, I was going up to turn 5 and I hit the brakes and there was just no brakes. Hit the brakes again, nothing. I started pumping, but there were no brakes. So I just chose the inside line. So I saw Louis turning in front of me, but I just aimed wide enough so that I won't hit him, and I hit the wall on the straightaway.
Great drive from Louis Stoltz. Double victory for him in Class B.
Second race was cut a bit short, so I saw a lot of guys out and accidents and so on. Old Valdo here next to me nearly killed us into 5, but that was good. At least we avoided him. But great day for the family, kids, friends, everybody that's here. Thank you very much. Come support us down at PE next time. Thank you.